with us and that you've come back to join us. I want to introduce to you Pete and Maura Kennedy. Everybody wave, say hi.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, everyone.
So they are known nationally as hosts of the late lamented Dharma Cafe program on Sirius Satellite Radio and on Broadway, where they are regular cast members of theater within Annual's tribute to John Lennon. I'm sorry, not Peter, excuse me.
It works.
Is an amazing guitarist who's won 9 Whammy Awards and Best Instrumentalist.
Ryan, please put Pete and Maura on. I think you've got the Nields on right now.
I think we're unmuted. Are we unmuted now?
I think we're on now.
Oh, okay.
Can
Are
you
you
hear us?
there? There you are.
Okay. Listening to you and looking at the Nields. And
So we have been celebrating space, and it's just been so exciting. So Pete and Maura, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, Mike Weinberg ought to be muted because he just popped on there. So we do a weekly show. We've, at the beginning of the pandemic, like all musicians, we lost all of our gigs all at once. And immediately we, there it is. We started doing live streams. We'd never done a live stream before, and we started doing them. And at first we thought, well, let's never repeat any songs. So that went for about 500 songs. And we repeated an occasional song here and there, but we have been doing these shows and presenting different themes. So one of our first themes was a Buddy Holly tribute, and we did a Dylan tribute and a Nancy Griffith tribute. And then we did themes like Summer of Love and Motown. Well, this week was the space show. I think our space thing is backwards.
Kennedy,
But-
no, it looks right.
It looks right.
Does it look right? Oh, okay, it's just my
Only to
monitor.
us.
Anyway, so I spent 4 hours putting my space makeup on, including my Barbarella hair, and I just couldn't bring myself to take a shower until the show was over. So you've got our space background and everything, yeah.
I know what you mean. I spent hours trying to look like Kojak. And
That's great.
Oh.
well, it's so great to see you guys. God, Pete and I don't remember when I first met Pete, but I'm sure it's been 40 years ago or so now. And Pete is this amazing, amazing guitar player. And when I was producing a lot of records back in the 80s, he was always my first call for guitar players because he could play anything. Brilliant, brilliant player.
I think we met in 1986, Paul. The first song that I played on for you was Peanut Butter by John McCutcheon.
Oh, on that record, right?
On that, yeah, whatever year that album, but I think it was 86. And then we did so many records together after that. And it's always so inspiring to work with you, and your production style, which brings out the creativity in people, is just it was always a lesson all the time to see how you work in the studio.
Well, thank you.
So what are you going to play?
We've been sequestered like so many musicians and taking advantage of the time at home to write. We've been doing a lot of writing, and we thought we would do a couple of new songs for you. So we'll start off with this one. This is one that we wrote just before the pandemic struck. And it's basically a message to Mother Earth, and it's called Heal You. You in there?
Yep.
2, 3, 4.
I
in a year and 4 months.
I forgot about applause.
Awesome.
But we just reinvented it.
That's right. And make sure we had it there. And I'm sure everybody was singing, I want to heal you now.
Yeah, I want to heal you now. Yeah, for the planet.
You're healing for the planet. What inspires you when you write?
Just whatever we're into, you know, and there's so much wrong with this planet right now. It's great to see the space race continue in the way it has, but you know, we also have to look at Mother Earth. It's the only Earth that we have, and so we were concerned about the ecology and the climate, and that's what we.
Part of the coverage of the space launch today was interviewing former astronauts, and they all say the same thing. They say that once you get up into space and you look down on the planet as this beautiful blue-green object, they say it's almost unbelievable to think how lucky we are to live here at all. And there's no borders or states or nations or anything like that. It's just this beautiful environment floating in space. And what a blessing to even be here and to share it with all these other creatures, humans and other creatures too. So when you think about that, you want to heal that.
It's a perspective sometimes I think we all forget.
Yeah.
You know, but that's beautiful. That was beautiful. The song was just, we're just rocking along.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl.
Awesome. Well, we're going to spin the table a little bit, and we're going to say hi to Nerissa and Katryna Nields. It's the Nields story of two sisters who grew up singing folk songs in the kitchen and the back seat of their family car. I remember that story. I think I have some of that story. And their friend Dave Chalfont, who's also with them today. Hi, everybody. We're so glad to see you.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to be here.
We have to tell you, Dave is more than a friend. He's my brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
My
he's
husband.
And he's Katrina's husband. And he's been with the band since 1993. So he's he was our he is our producer. He was our bass player, and now he's our guitarist. And one of the great things, you know, I'm sure everybody's tired of silver lining pandemic stories, but I just have to say that it's been this weird blessing that, you know, when we lost all of our gigs. We actually had a new record that came out in January 2020 and a whole tour booked. And of course, we lost all those dates. But after a couple of months, we regrouped and we were like, well, let's see, what could we do? And we began exploring this whole streaming thing, and we created a show on Monday nights at 7 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube Live, and the three of us just dug into our back catalog. And, you know, it's something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. We would always just sort of go forward with whatever new record we were working. And we'd made 20 records by the time it was 2020. So we were, we'd sort of forget all these old songs. But we did a very similar thing to Pete and Maura. We would have these themed nights. And we'd be like, Katrina would be scouring through all of our albums and going, okay, what's a song about families? What's a song about kitchens? Let's have a kitchen theme. What were some of your favorite themes?
I love doing outer space. We did outer space as well, and well, there were nights when whenever it was one of our birthdays, we got to choose all the songs of the night and make the other two learn those songs. Sometimes they'd be covers, and sometimes they'd be songs that are from our records. But it is it's like a new version of creativity to make these shows and have them be, it's not like being on the road where you can do the same show every night. It's every week is a new experience, and that's fun.
Exactly.
And I'm sure that you're finding this with your show here, Paul and Cheryl and Pete and Maura, your shows, that we were getting, you know, we have families now, we have kids, and we were curtailing our touring in the last 10 years quite substantially. And we'd want to get out to the West Coast. We'd want to get out to, Texas and the upper Northwest, but it was hard to do. And now all of these people who knew us in the 90s when we were touring all the time come on Monday nights. I mean, it's like a regathering of our whole history. It's been very sweet.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. It's been a journey. And so we really are excited about hearing you. So tell us, what are you going to play?
This is a song that Nerissa and Dave wrote together back about 25 years ago. And it's just my favorite song to play these days, so I asked them if we could do it. This is from our record, Gotta Get Over Greta.
1, 2, 3, and...
I used to be young, and now I'm old. I used to be hot, now I'm almost cold. I used to be hard as candy, but I've been sucked on too long, so long, so long. I used to be high, and now I'm low. I used to be wise, I don't know. I used to make magic and turn men into toads. Now I'm the one who follows him down the road. I wear a red bullseye on the chest of my white wedding dress. Oh, I need a doctor, oh, I need a doctor, oh, I need a doctor, oh, I need a doctor. Hey, what? No. And now I'm blue. I used to tell lies, and now I tell the truth. I'm not successful, no, but I don't mind. Success makes you old before your time. I drink the drug of hope with my breakfast to ward off a bitterness. Oh, I need a doctor, oh, I need a doctor, oh, I need a doctor, oh, I need a doctor. Oh, I was bad, and now I'm good. I was Lolita, ha, and now I'm Red Riding Hood. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. I need a doctor. I need a doctor. I need a doctor. I need a doctor.
Wow.
Well, I need a doctor.
So I have to ask the question. The album is called something about Greta?
Gotta Get Over Greta.
Okay, what's the story? Gotta get over
The
Greta.
story of Gotta Get Over Greta is that we were playing a show at this club called the Wetlands in New York City. And I went, it was the kind of show, it was the kind of club where there was no artist's restroom. So you went to the regular public restroom. And I went there, and there was a graffiti on the bathroom wall that said, Gotta Get Over Greta, in the women's room. And I came back to the dressing room and I said, Nerissa, Nerissa, Nerissa. I had just read Cat's Eye by Margaret Atwood, which is all about this very fraught female friendship, lifelong friendship. And and the breakup of it and the difficulty of it and the sort of haunting of it throughout the narrator's life. And I said, Nerissa, you need to write a song called Gotta Get Over Greta that is about a platonic breakup that is just as profound as any romantic breakup. And so she wrote the song Gotta Get Over Greta.
And we just named the whole record that because we liked it so much.
Yeah. I was like, you said that, I'm going, what? It's Greta. Okay, there's a story there. There's a story. I love it. I love it. Well, folks, as you know, it's scrolling across the bottom of your screen. We always like to invite you to make a donation to the artist tonight. It's our, because we love music, tip jar, and we hope that you will make donations and be generous. As all the artists have been sharing tonight, it's been kind of a long haul for everyone. Shows being canceled, and now that things are opening up, it's wonderful, but it still hasn't quite gotten back to what it was before. And so we want to keep all of these folks employed and able to come to the next, to your town to present their concerts. So please, you can donate through Venmo, you can donate through PayPal, put something in the chat and we'll figure out how to help you make that donation. All the money that is collected this evening is divided amongst the artists. So we thank you for your generosity. So now I'm going to invite all of you to kind of mellow back, okay? We've been rocking out and I know there's more to come. But one of the places we really missed this past year was going out to Hawaii.
Yes, we've been doing Kid Pan Alley residencies in Hawaii for about 10 years. It was always in the middle of winter. It was so great to go to Hawaii, and this year we couldn't go.
And so we would go to the Big Island and visit the kids in the schools and to Maui, and the kids would come up and they're so proud of who they are and where they live. And so it's all about that pride in yourself. And so this song, it was recorded by John Chiave.
John Chiave and the Kid Pan Alley Band.
So if you have like a favorite like umbrella drink you want to go grab, this is a great time to do it. The shells on the shoreline, the mountain breeze, stories of our ancestors swaying palm trees. It's perfect here in paradise, perfect on the island. Let me tell you who I am. I'm Hawaiian. Surfing at Hapuna as the waves rolling, fishing for ulua with my family and friends. It's perfect here in paradise, perfect on the Aina. Let me tell you who I am. I'm Hawaiian. Though I may someday move away and travel to some distant land, I know that I'll return. I will always yearn for the calm and peaceful life in Hawaii. The colors at sunset, red, orange, and green, clouds paint a picture, they remind me I'm free. It's perfect here in paradise, perfect on the island. Let me tell you who I am. I'm Hawaiian. Oh, let me tell you who I am. I'm Hawaiian. Oh, I'm Hawaiian. I'm Hawaiian. I'm Hawaiian. hopefully you're just kind of looking out and seeing the
Looking at
sunset,
the palm trees.
the palm trees swaying.
Now, what do you remember what grade we wrote that with, Sharon? What school? Let's see.
Let me see. We wrote this with
Mrs. O'Donnell's third grade.
it's third graders in Kohala, so that was on the Big
Kohala
Island.
Elementary in the Big Island.
On the Big Island, so just to give you a little bit of a relaxing feeling, because I have a feeling we're all going to be up dancing here shortly. So we're going to swing our way back around to Pete and Morrow. All right, the Kennedy.
That was a gorgeous song.
So beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow. Beautiful.
All right, take
Beautiful
us to
voices.
the next place.
Oh, we'll take you to the next place, which is post-apocalyptic.
Okay, that's not.
That's okay.
Oh, perfect.
It's another new song, and we wrote this during the lockdown. I guess we'll just let the song speak for itself. And it's called The Sky Doesn't Look Right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Clouds from the east are rolling in. Perhaps we'll get a little rain. And won't the garden be so glad to have a drink again? I thought I felt the pressure drop. I went outside to take a walk with my umbrella on my arm and a fear I cannot name. And the sky, it doesn't look right. No, the sky, it doesn't look right. I haven't seen the sun for weeks. I've lost the color on my cheeks, and all the trees are turning brown. Though summer's barely here, there ought to be a flower bed, a wreath of roses for my head, a garden growing things to eat, but nothing's growing there. And the sky, it doesn't look right. No, the sky, it doesn't look right. My lips are dry, my lungs are tight. The water tastes like metal, and it's always twilight. They say there used to be a sun that rose and shone on everyone, but that was back before the bomb and the shroud that followed down. They say there once was happiness, a gentle smile, a warm caress, but now we just survive as best we can on poison ground. And the sky, it doesn't look right. No, the sky, it doesn't look right. No, the sky, it doesn't look right. No, the sky, it doesn't look right.
Woo!
Got a little heavy for you. Sorry.
All right. Actually, that happened to us right before this concert.
Oh, really?
We were invited to a new neighbor's house, and it was lovely. The entire neighborhood was going over, and all of a sudden we all looked up, and that is the exact feeling we were having. That sky does not look right. Fair enough. It just poured. But I take rain over what some apocalyptic things could be happening.
Yeah, like out west.
Yeah, out in the Pacific Northwest.
Exactly. Wow. Just amazing. I want to just say thank you to Michael Potts for your donation. He started us off this evening, and I hope the rest of you will join in and be generous in your giving. We so appreciate it. The artists really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, we just keep on going. And so we're going to go back over to Nerissa, Katrina, and Dave. Hey.
Hello. Hopefully you can still see Nerissa. She's going to be playing piano.
She's there. We see her.
She is.
She looks
We see her back anyway.
Carrie Jones. Monty Python.
You can't see what she's playing, only that she's playing.
We just
It's really not me playing. I have a stunt double. I mean, I have an actual pianist who's playing. I'm just pretending. It's like those movies, where the actor can't really play the piano. So they show just the fingers, and it's a real pianist.
This is a song from a record we put out a few years ago. It's a little bit of an epic song, and it's about how the decisions you make, you end up living with, and but occasionally looking back at and turning over and over and over in your head. This is Normandy's.
I've been grateful for the journey. I've been grateful for the hill, and I've been grateful for the face that greets me every morning. Still I wonder if I took the right fork when the left was calling, me. Oh, but darling, you're the right one. That's what everybody told me since I was young. If I won you, I'd be face to the sun, face to the sun. Oh, but darling, we're the same one. We are both built like the sun. We need a moon to orbit. I can't orbit you. If I tried, I'd surely freeze in a world all full of Normandies. In a world all full of Normandies. It was only for a moment. We were children hunting starfish, and we waited through the low tide, but our sights were on the far shore, and we chose each other every time. And when they asked me who I loved the boy who always chose me too. In a world that thinks in binaries, we always meet our Normandies. vision just can't hold it. Is it visionary if you just bow out, honoring your ancestry, surrendering at Normandy, surrendering at Normandy. And now I am retreating. All the glory and the dream are folded in with all the laundry. It's a good life, we both should know. But I fear I've let you down by choosing something so contained. It seems like one of us should stay to close the show. Down through every century, there'll always be a Normandy. There'll always be a Normandy.
Beautiful. Now we get some long round of applause.
Sounds like rain.
Okay, that's enough.
So haunting. Just,
What a beautiful song.
oh my gosh.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
inspiration when you're writing.
Oh, I mean, it's never one thing, you know. It's like, partly it's just showing up and writing.
Yes.
You know, actually, Paul, you taught me something about 20 years ago at song school, or it wasn't exactly teaching. You put into words something that I'd experienced. I don't have writer's block, because I think writer's block is about perfectionism, and as long as you give yourself permission to write the worst song in the world, you can always write a song. And if you're always writing a song, you're going to write good songs eventually. And my process is, it's time to make a record, so I start writing songs, and generally the songs get better as I'm in the cycle of writing them. That particular song, I'd overheard, I run writing groups, not songwriting groups, but writing groups, and one of the writers in my writing groups had read something that she'd just written, and I thought she'd said, "In a world all full of Normandies." And I said, "Did you just say in a world all full of Normandies?" And she said, "No, nothing even close to that."
Well, you don't know any real.
So going deaf is, you know, a good thing, apparently, for inspiration. But I liked that thing that I didn't hear. A Mondrian? Is that what it's called? Mondegreen. It's a mondegreen when you hear something incorrectly. But I took it and I tried to write something and I didn't like it, so I put it away for a year. And then a year later, I was sort of going through my notes and I saw this phrase there and I thought, oh, I know what that means. And then the song just came out, boom.
Wow. I think for a lot of folks who are in the Zoom room and that are watching on the various social media, I think it's very intriguing to know how artists, how performers write songs and what inspires, what is sort of the process. Because in general, you know, many people are music consumers, and they enjoy it. it serves many purposes in their life. However, it still remains sort of a mystery as to how it's born, you know, how that whole process evolves. And I thank you all this evening as I ask you questions for sharing that information, because I think it makes it more real to us.
There was a great interview just last week on the New York Times Ezra Klein podcast. It was Ezra Klein's interview of Jeff Tweedy from the band Wilco, who's one of my favorite songwriters. And Paul, he used a technique that I remember you using. Again, it was like 20 years ago at song school. But you made word bubbles, you know, associations, until you had like lots and lots and lots of awesome words that were connected, and then from there you could sort of pull them and create a song. And he talks about doing that, like he'll have a noun source and a verb source, and they'll be totally different sources. Like one is a book, you know, a novel, and one of them is a cookbook or something, not a cookbook, but, baseball is what he said, like a baseball encyclopedia, and all the verbs that go with baseball. Take all those verbs and then match them with nouns from this totally other source, and poke them together in crazy ways until something sticks. And all you need is one little thing, you know, and then you can go in a totally different direction. It's not like you have to write a song with all baseball verbs, but you know, throwing things together like that is such a wonderful way to get that snap. And then, yes, Cheryl, I agree. It's like there is a mystery to it, and you know, I call it the divine muse. It's just like, I just trust that it's there. It's not me, but it's out there, and if I'm open and working, it shows up, and we collaborate.
It's wonderful.
Well, and I think, you know, the creative process is not a linear process, and yet we're taught always, you know, to think linearly and to write sentences that go with each other. And so one of the great things about pulling things from different places, like you're talking about with Jeff, or doing clustering, is that you see things, and something maybe over here on the one side, and then there's something on the other side, and you bounce them off of each other, and they create a spark.
Right.
It takes that spark to get going.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, before we move on, I have a list of sparks. I've been madly writing and shifting back and forth, and I want to thank everyone. Michael, you got the whole movement started, so listen up, man. We have just had such generosity and donations coming in from Edward Bonfield, Gail Swift, Stephen Warona, Elizabeth DeSombra, Carolyn Sutton, Samuel Pete Hoyle, Michael Beck, Sherry Mahoney, Emily Von Nost. I mean, it's rolling, and we are so grateful. Thank you so much for your love and your generosity this evening. And if I've missed anyone, I will catch up during this next set. But it gives me great honor. It gives me great pleasure, and it's always an honor to introduce an amazing musician, one whose career spans back, close to 50, almost 50 years.
50 years.
Playing guitar, leader of the band Trapezoid, and finally finding a footing with Kid Panally, bringing creativity and songwriting to children over 70,000 children across the country. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the Zoom room, my husband, Paul Reisler.
Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl.
Hey, Paul, can I hear a little bit of your guitar?
Is that coming through?
I think we could turn it up just a little bit more.
How about there?
A bit more?
Let's see, I wonder what's going on here, because it was loud before. Oops.
It sounds pretty good now. That's about right.
It's not right, because I'm not getting anything on. Where am I? No, I'm not getting anything.
Maybe move the mic closer to it? And the mic that...
Well, that's all we're getting right now. Why don't we skip ahead and let me figure out why this has stopped working, because I'm not getting anything on the preamp right now.
Sure.
Okay. So let's go back around and get the Kennedys to do a song, and then I'll chip in one after I get this technical difficulty straightened out. So Pete and Maura. Can you unmute there, Maura?
Yeah, I think they're working on it.
Sorry, you wanted me to unmute?
Yes, you guys are going to play now because for some reason my guitar's not coming through.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do that. We're ready. I think we're going to do a little song that we wrote within the last year or so. And this is one that, well, you're talking about what inspires you to write a song. We have been going down to Florida every year. In fact, the first time we went to St. Augustine was we did a show with the Nields.
The Nields.
And that, remember that little art gallery?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and we go down there every year now, and we have this spot that we go to every year. We always carve out a couple of days. And I don't know how we got into this. It's just, there's this particular spot where in the olden days, it's on the edge of a body of water, and there's an island out from the water. And in the olden days, they used to dump garbage there. And so now, every time there's a flood or a storm surge, this garbage washes to the shore of our little spot. But the garbage back then was pretty cool. And so this is what the garbage looks like that we collect every year. And so what I like to do, it's just a very Zen thing for me to do, is I get a bucket and some rubber gloves and my boots, and I dig around in the mud for a full day, and I collect these beautiful little pieces of history. And I thought about it, about, recycling and how it's easy to recycle this stuff. It's fun, it's beautiful, it's usable.
And it's a way of cleaning up the river.
At the same time.
That's a fun hobby.
So we took that experience, and actually what happened was, the last time we were there, and I'm picking up bottles, and I started singing to myself the hook of the song that we're about to play. And I was singing it over and over and over in my head until I realized that I was singing it. I must have been singing it for a good 10 minutes before I realized I was singing Little Green Bottles. So I finished the song that day, and this is another one that will be on our next album. Most of the songs on the album deal with the ecology, and this is called Little Green Bottles. Pete's going to play the ukulele. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Edge of the swamp, St. Augustine. I watch the trains roll by on the other side through the back porch screen. I see the herons fly and the swamp grass sway, and I could sit right here for the rest of the year just to live this way and find the little green bottles, little green bottles, little green bottles that wash up onto the shore. I love them little green bottles, little green bottles, the little green bottles that wash up onto the shore. There's an island in the middle, I like to take a canoe and find the little brown shack someone lived in back when the town was new. And as the city grew up and the shack fell down, we paddled away and the city said, hey, we got a dumping ground now. And now there's little green bottles, little green bottles, little green bottles, little green bottles that wash up onto the shore. barge sends it out to sea. I'd like to float on back to a distant time when the people were few and the trash they threw was a friendlier kind. So I pull on my boots, I grab an old tin pail, I wade into the brine of the muddy floodline, and I never fail to find the little green bottles, little green bottles, little green bottles that wash up onto the shore. I love the little green bottles, little green bottles, little green bottles, little green bottles, little green bottles that wash up onto the shore. The shore. I got a laugh track. That's awesome.
Oh, I love that little green bottle.
Thank you.
I hope you were singing along with the chorus.
I was. And show us the little green bottle that you were using.
That's one that I found.
And this was one I was using for the
That is so
Very cool.
very cool.
for a slide uke.
So that's another example of recycling. Use it as a slide.
Right. It was somebody's medicine bottle like 100 years ago, and now it's a slide for a uke.
That is so cool. And of course, while we're all singing Little Green Bottle, we're all watching your hands slide up and down. It's like so cool. Love it. So, Paul, did we
I think
fix
we got
everything?
it fixed. Ryan, tell me.
Get the guitar going.
How's that, Ryan?
That sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to introduce
No,
you
don't
again.
introduce me again. I will introduce myself.
Okay. All right.
A man who needs no introduction.
That's right.
Okay. So I'm going to play a tune I wrote while trekking in Nepal years ago. I'd been in India studying drumming in the south of India in Kerala. And there's a system called bowls where you make all the rhythms with one syllable words. So you might go taka taka ta 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 taki ta taka taka dimi taka 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 or something like that. And so I was practicing all those rhythms on when we were trekking in Nepal, on my thighs as we were walking along the wild Marshandi River up in the Annapurna Mountains. And you're on this little narrow path and got about 1,000 feet down to the river, and it's one waterfall after another. And I'm practicing these rhythms, and I started getting a melody to go with the rhythms that I was tapping on my thighs, but I didn't have any music paper, and I didn't have a guitar with me, and I didn't have a tape recorder. But I had 3 weeks to remember it, and I remembered it and when I got home and realized it was almost unplayable. But I finally, after several years, I learned how to play it. It's called Marshandi, and I'm going to dedicate it to Pete because Pete taught me how to do two-hand tapping, and there's a little bit of two-hand tapping in here. So thank you, Pete. I've loved that technique ever since you showed it to me.
See, I can hit that button too.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Wow.
And thank you, Pete, for teaching me that cool technique.
It has been such a joy over this past year and a half. You know, I guess all couples survive COVID in different ways, and Paul's been down here in the studio working and practicing, and I'm up 2 flights, but it's always a joy to hear all the just amazing music that you play. And so it's definitely enriched our time together. All right, so we swing over to the Nields, and Dave, bring us
Paul-
up. What are we going to do?
Paul, I spent a semester of college in Nepal in 1989, and trekked in that same area that you were in. That was amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it's such a beautiful place. That Marchandi River is just astounding.
Unbelievably beautiful place. Yeah, I feel very lucky that I got to see it.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is the truth of who I am, And it's taken me my whole life to celebrate. I won't go back. You can give me a number, slap on a label, tell me I won't be welcome at your table, but I won't bow down to the tyrants anymore. I know what to do, I've been here before. Tyrants always fall. Always tyrants always fall. Always. This is the truth of where we've been. And it's taken the world till now to take an honest look around. There are lies on the TV, lies in the paper, lies on my phone just grown from the vapor. But I won't be fooled by the liars anymore. This is the truth that we can't ignore. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are of them. And tyrants always fall. Always. We're scattered and scared in the ship's dark hold, but we have a common peril and we have a common goal. The parents are dead, the leering uncles at the prow. There is no one left, we are the grown-ups now. Think of all those times we've been down and this. We are made of strong stuff, we were made for this. And tyrants always fall. Always. This is the truth we've always known. There isn't a lightning bolt to set things right, to bring us home. It's gonna take all our courage, take all our actions, take every heart and every single faction. And it's gonna take time, some of us won't live that long. When one gets weak, it means it's your turn to be strong. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are always. There are tyrants than there are always. There are more of us than there are always. There are tyrants than there are always.
I feel like this is the anthem, you know? Like it's we wake up having to feel this way
Right.
every day, you know, and
Right.
if you're aware, socially aware, newsworthy aware, oh my gosh.
And who isn't at this point?
Well, that's just it. I mean, it's everywhere. It's permeated our total existence. But wow, that's so powerful. I feel like I need to go march now.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, that was what it was written for.
absolutely. So
Be fearless. Or,
yeah, it's interesting because this song, it's almost. I think it fits.
fits right.
It fits right in with this because sometimes we see everything that's going on around us, and it's real easy just to allow that to take over and determine our destiny. But really, we have to dig down deep inside, and that's what this song is about. Paul wrote this with an amazing songwriter, Donna Britton, and it's called Fearless. It's not necessarily a marching song, but it's a reflective song about where it all can begin. Please don't hit me with the guitar.
Okay.
That wouldn't work.
Kinda timed
No
it
teeth
in.
would not help at this point.
Here we go.
What are you afraid of? There aren't any monsters in the closet. No boogeyman to get you, no ghost in white sheets to say boo. So be fearless, be brave. No one's looking anyway, except you. Gotta be fearless, gotta look it in the eye. If you really wanna live, you gotta be willing to die. You might fall down, make a fool of yourself, fall flat on your face, but you can never really fall from grace. Gotta be fearless, fearless, fearless. Gotta be fearless, fearless, fearless. Fear can really feed you or shove you right back into your cave. Make you climb the mountain, but don't let it make you your slave. So be fearless, be brave. No one's looking anyway, except you. You gotta be fearless, you gotta look it in the eye. If you really wanna live, you gotta be willing to die. You might fall down, make a fool of yourself, fall flat on your face, but you can never really fall from grace. Fear is its own living hell, its heartbreak hotel, an unstable demon that crucifies our dreaming. Gotta be fearless, you gotta look it in the eye. If you really wanna live, you gotta be willing to die. You might fall down, make a fool of yourself, fall flat on your face, but you can never really fall from grace. So be fearless, fearless, fearless. Fearless, fearless. You gotta be fearless, fearless. Let's be fearless. Fearless, fearless. Let's be fearless. Dig up for it, you know? Dig down deep inside. Whew. Wow, what a night.
What a night.
We've had all kinds, I mean, from the earth to space to little green bottle, you know, to watching out for Greta. It's just, this has just been like an explosive evening. It's so exciting. And we're not done yet. That's even more fun.
I know.
Oh my gosh. So back to Pete and Mara.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, really beautiful.
We're gonna do a song that it's on our latest album, and this is a song that we've been ending at the beginning of our live streams. We ended every show with it. It's kind of our theme song through the COVID era. We don't do it every show anymore, but it really spoke to the caregivers and both the professional caregivers and the people who are taking care of people at home. And I didn't mention too, I know someone asked about our weekly shows. They're every Sunday at 2 p.m. and they're all archived on our, if you go to our website, kennedysmusic.com, you'll get all the information about that. But this is a song that that deals with, I mean, I wrote it before the pandemic, but you know how when things happen in the world and songs take on new meaning, this was one of those. And I think this might be our last song for this round. So Paul and Cheryl, thank you. Nerissa, Katrina, David, it's great to see you. And this is called Safe Until Tomorrow. 2, 3, 4. You watch the fire burn on the hillside. Thought you were safe until the flames were at your door. And later on, the bitter rains brought on a landslide so hard to fight a foe you've never seen before. If we can only keep you safe until tomorrow, I promise you there'll be 10,000 better days. I do believe that you believe the things you thought you heard and saw, the things that made your heart beat like 1,000 drums. If we can only keep you safe until tomorrow comes. Bury your suspicion like a battle scar. Laugh at my superstition, dance upon the crack. Sometimes I wonder where it is you think you are. Sometimes I wonder if you're ever coming back. If we can only keep you safe until Thank you. And that's for anyone who, it's pretty much everybody, I think, who lost someone during the COVID. I know it's been a hard, 15 months now?
Yeah.
But I've seen the best come out in people, and I know we all have.
Absolutely. And you know, it's like the sun is just now coming up again, and how we see our world, or maybe the way to think about it is how we let the past 15 months change us. It definitely influence how we will see this new dawn. But we'll all do it together.
Yeah.
And that through song, through the arts, through families, I think it's just the whole idea that we all join hands and do it together. You know, it's very, very important. I have another list. I want to thank Jim Burke and Renee Mertzner and Jen Jacobson and Storm, our buddy Storm, who's with us every concert, and Kathy Marr. Thank you so much for your generosity. Yes. And I want you to know the tip jar, all of that stuff is still floating along down at the bottom. You know, the evening's not over yet. If you feel the urge, just we certainly appreciate all of the gifts, all the generosity, and your love. It is music that brings us together. It's just fabulous, wonderful. So I'm wondering what the Nields and Dave have for us.
We have a song from our 1998 record Play that sums up this was sort of a song of nostalgia during the pandemic, remembering times when we could gather with people. We were really lucky at we live just a couple of blocks from each other, and our kids are friends with each other, and at a certain point we decided to pod up during the pandemic, and that made all the difference to have these dear people to gather with. But I know a lot of people were lonely, terribly, terribly lonely. And this is a song that we are very honored that Pete and Maura covered for one of their albums, and I'm hoping that they'll be singing along in the background.
I just want to say a really deep thank you to everybody who put tonight together, because it does actually feel a little like we got to gather with friends and have a sing-along together, even if it's through these screens. It's something, and I'm so grateful to all of you for working hard to make this happen, especially Ryan, who is
Ryan, thank
working
you
all the
so
tech.
much.
We need a big round of applause.
Big round of applause for Ryan.
Thank you.
And it's a joy for us to play with our friends, the Reislers and the Kennedys.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I'm going to count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We sat around the table and we drank a bottle of wine, and it poured around us like a moat till no one could get us. And I was fine, and I said, haven't I paid my dues by now? Haven't I paid my dues by now? Haven't I paid my dues by now? And don't I get the right to choose? Well, I choose you to take up all of my time, and I choose you because you're funny and kind, and I want easy people from now on. Easy people. Easy people, oh, my house is full of empty rooms and broken frames. Other people's stuff in my house we see by Christmas lights and your TV. And that seems to be enough to see what we want to see. You let me be who I wanna be. Will be easy from now on. From now on. Easy people. Easy people. Why can't I be easy? Why can't I be easy like you? All to you I would give, the songs I write, the words I pray, and the morning light that comes into this room today. If you would only rise, if you would only say, I want you to take up all of my time. I want you because you're funny and kind, and we'll be easy from now on. From now on. Easy people. Easy people. Easy people. Easy people. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw you, Kennedy, swaying along. That was awesome.
Jamming.
Oh man,
That was fantastic.
I just think everybody
Beautiful
feels like we're all easy people tonight. You know, just kind of kicking it back and just letting it all flow in.
And there's nothing quite like sisters singing harmony.
Oh, I
It's the
know.
most beautiful thing there is.
You know, Paul. We got to get
We gotta
get on
to-
some
we gotta
harmony,
be- We got to
dude.
get to be sisters, Cheryl.
It's not
Not gonna
happening.
happen. Not gonna happen.
Sorry, we've already crossed that bridge.
That was beautiful, and such a joy to hear you and see you and catch up. And I loved Daniel Meyer wrote something in the chat that I just want to point to. He said, "I love how intently Katryna is watching Paul's performance. Gorgeous song. What was the title?" And I'm not sure if you were referring to the song "Fearless" or the instrumental "Marchandi." Okay, the instrumental was called Marchandi, named after the river. But I love how we all listen to each other and get inspired by each other. Really, really a joy. Now, I think we're getting down to the last tune of the night. I want to thank you all for coming and thank some of our friends who are here with us who've been such loyal supporters through all of this. Dear friend Pam Felber, who's going to be with us out in Colorado in about
Song
2
School.
weeks at Song School. This will be her first time coming out there. And Mike Beck's out there, and Mike's one of the teachers at Song School. I've been teaching there for, I think, 30 years now, or close.
Close, very
Close
close.
to 30 years. And it is my favorite thing. But one interesting thing that's going to happen is Mike Beck and I have gotten together, and we've decided that Europe needs something like Rocky Mountain Song School. So we're starting one next, it'll be the end of March, early April next year. We're just lining up faculty now, but we have us and Issei Barnwell's coming and some other incredible people who I won't mention until we really nail it down totally. But if you go to songcampitaly.com in a couple of weeks, once we have everything up, you can find out more about it. Italy, and it's a beautiful, exquisite place. The food is, of course, amazing, and the teaching, I hope, will be the same. Now, we started out these concerts back in early April of 2020, right after the pandemic, because we saw how many of our friends had lost their ability to play. There was no place to play. And, you know, we have all this music stuck inside of us, and it needs to get out. So we started this series called Because We Have Music. And we started it off once a week, and then we went to once every other week because it was just a huge amount of work. And plus we were doing all of our Kid Pen Alley residencies online. And during the summer, it's been once a month. And next month, we're going to take a month off. First of all, we go to Rocky Mountain Song School, and we'll be out there for about 10 days. And then I come back and I go to the Virginia Center for the Creative Arts, where I'm doing a little rewrite on my second musical, The Talented Clementine. And we'll be back with you in September. So watch your email, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. We're going to play one more song, and we'll play a little short video, and then we'll open the room up, and you can, everybody who'd like to stay can stay and talk to the artists, and we'll trade all these stories with each other. I know Pete's got a lot of stories about all the times I screwed up in the studio, and he's been very generous in not talking about those yet.
So maybe there's still time, Pete.
There's still time, Pete.
You can still tell some of the stories.
And let's see, is there anybody else we need to thank here? Oh, Aaliyah G.
Aaliyah.
Thank you, Aaliyah.
Thank you so much. So this song holds a special place in my heart, but this actually Paul wrote with Angela Cassett. And when we were planning our wedding, he said, I want us to perform this song because it is my favorite and most special love song. And so we give this love to everyone here and everywhere.
And it's about living the artistic life. It's called If I Were Free. I remember back out in the early 80s, Trapezoid was playing out in California. And it was the first stop on our tour, and our plane was a little late getting in, and we got lost and took time to get the car, and we were playing at this place called the Feedback Theater up in the Sierra Nevadas, which was run by a guy named Bob DeWitt and his wife Doey. And Bob used to live with Woody Guthrie and had a coffee house in Topanga Canyon, and Doey worked with Will Rogers, and they were just the most amazing people I've ever met. But we're driving to their place, and there's if it's 4-lane road, then it's 2-lane road, then it's a 1-lane road, then it's a dirt path through a cow field, and we're following these directions. And it's already dark, and we're late. But we knew we were on the right path because there were all these car hoods that said, Woody Guthrie or bust, or Feedback Theater straight ahead. We got to the end of the road, and off in the distance we saw this light, and there was a gate. But, the road ended, so we grabbed our instruments and started walking down this path, and every fence post had a gargoyle on it. And then we came to this graveyard, and every tombstone said critics, and we knew we were in the right place. And we got down to Bob and Doey's, and in their barn, we started to play, and as soon as we started to play, Bob got up and grabbed a conga and started banging away in a completely different time than we were playing in. And I just fell in love with them right then and there. They were the most creative people I know. If I asked Bob a question, he wouldn't answer the question. He'd do a painting or a drawing, or he'd throw you a pot and answer. One time we came back there the next year, and Bob had built Lake Trapezoid in the shape of a trapezoid in our honor. And that's just the way Bob was, is he would, so the song starts off, if I were free, I would answer any question with a brushstroke upon canvas, and my words would all fall out in poetry. I'd sing to you a sunset and draw your face inside a symphony if I were free. So this is for all our wonderful musical friends and all of you who are artists deep inside. And so for the special thanks to the Kennedys and to the Nields for playing with us tonight, and I look forward to many more times together, old and dear friends.
If I were free, I would answer any question
with a brushstroke upon canvas, and my words would all fall out in poetry. I would sing to you a sunset, draw your face inside a symphony. If I were If I were free, I would flee this world of sidewalks, run barefoot up the mountain, stand naked as a lover, breathlessly. I would lose my way by moonlight and wake to find you sleeping next to me. If I were free. If I were free, free to fly, free to fall, safe within the mystery of it all. If I were free, I would kiss you like a snowflake, rain on you in roses, fearlessly stand back and let you be. For God above and all the world to see. If I were free.
Everyone, oh, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
And
We
please,
have so enjoyed
and
it.
please hang around and let's see. I'll play the end credits, and then we'll. You can unmute yourself, and we'll join all together in the Zoom room, and you can talk to your buddies, the artists, and each other.
Here we go.
I got a message from the angels. They told me to sing and dance. Though I never see them, I talk with them whenever I can. I feel them taking my hand. Angels on parade, whispering, we love you. Angels on parade, marching with me and you. I got a message from the angels. They told me to love my friends, to be kind and gentle. They called me by my name, and that I can't explain. Angels on parade.
All right, time to unmute.
That was a great show.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Jen. That's Jen Jacobson, our executive director.
Phenomenal singer.
Hey, Paul, let's go off live as well.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.